Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I'm so happy to see you guys. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, but as you know, it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so you can provide the same level of quality care to your beloved pets at home as I provide to my client pets. Welcome to Go Groomer on YouTube. I'm so happy to see you. It's Monday. We have a great show for you tonight, guys. So many of you have learned that you enjoy grooming your own dog. You may not even be groomers, but having a safe place to come and learn proper coat techniques, methods, where to get tools, what tools to use, products, and how to use them. It's so important, and that's what this YouTube channel is for. Now, our topic tonight, I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. I have kind of visited this before, a little bit differently. Tonight we're going deeper than we have, so you're really going to have to put your thinking caps on. I don't want to lose you. I'm going to try to help you. The topic tonight is different dog clippers and when to use each one. There are so many different types. When I say different types, guys, I mean like this. What kind of trimmer is this? Is this a dog grooming clipper? Well, I'm going to explain that to you. This is a 5-in-1 adjustable blade. It looks just like an A5, doesn't it? But there are so many differences, and I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you understand which one you might want to use. But more than that, we're going to go through the different types of dog grooming clipper styles and many of those different styles, and what are the limitations and the capabilities that each clipper type has to offer. I think that's where this is important, and we needed to go deeper on this topic. We need to talk about limitations of the different clippers and capabilities of the different clippers so that you guys really understand. There are reasons that you are confused and you don't understand which clipper type you should use or which one to purchase to successfully give a dog a haircut. So I'm going to take the guesswork out of that for you tonight. I have so much loaded in the queue for you guys right here, locked and loaded, so I can help you understand and get you right on the track that you need to be when you have clippers in your hands and a dog on the table. So let's get started here. I can't wait. We're going to start right off the bat. I'm going to show you an image. I have so much going on my screen. This is going to be a tricky one for me to handle. I have like 30 things plugged into this queue. But we're going to take a look here, first off, at these are clippers, guys. These are different clippers. Some of them are the same, just a different brand, and some of them are a different type of clipper. Do you really need an A5 style detachable blade clipper, or can you do it all with a 5-in-1 adjustable blade dog clipper? What about the tiny little trimmers? A little one there on the end? Do you need one of those? And when would you use it? That's the most important thing, guys. In this video, I will definitely break it all down for you so you truly do understand the capabilities and the inadequacies of each clipper type. That's important. I'm also going to help you understand. I'm going to show you what each clipper sounds like tonight so that you have an idea. Sound isn't everything, but it does matter sometimes. I know many of you would like to know that. What do they sound like? I'm going to show you the different clipper types and what they sound like. Today, I will only be answering clipper related questions, guys, okay? Because I really want to keep this on topic so everybody can learn so much from this learning episode that we're getting together here today. So in tonight's chat, guys, please limit your questions for me to just clipper related questions, okay? If you want to ask a question, that's great, and I welcome that. Just make sure it's a clipper related question. If you hold down the dash bar in the chat and then type your question, I will be certain to see it. And that way I can get you an answer. If you don't hold down the dash bar and create a line in front of your question, I may not get to answer your question tonight. So I try my best, guys. You know I do. So now let's talk dog clipper types and when you should use them. That's the thing, when you should use them. All right, so I got to pay attention here because I do have a lot on my screen. Like I said, we're going to be looking at different clipper types. I have about 7 clippers here, so I'm ready. I'm ready to talk. There are 3 clipper types used when grooming dogs. There is a detachable blade clipper, which means the blade pops off like this. Okay. There are also adjustable blade clippers, which means I just got hair on my computer, that the blade adjusts like this or with a push button, such as this. Okay, these are both adjustable blade clippers, both of these. They perform the same tasks. And then there's these little guys. I mean, look at the difference in size. And I'm going to show you a little better on screen. This is just a little trimmer. What can you do with it? What can't you do with it? I'm going to definitely break all that down for you. So let me get some of these clippers out of my way for now, because I've got a lot to do. I have a lot of things to show you tonight. Okay, so let's first start with detachable blade clippers. They're also known as A5 clippers, okay? Remember that, guys. Your detachable blade clippers are also known as A5 style clippers, because I will be mentioning that name A5 a lot tonight. This is a wall KM. You know I love the wall KM. We'll be talking more about that later. So let me just run through some names of A5 detachable blade clippers. Let me run through some of the names of them so you guys can, have an idea if that's what you have. There's a wall KM2. There's a wall KM5. There's a wall KM10. There's a wall KM cordless. There's a wall Inspire. There's an Andis AGC 2-speed. There's an Andis Pulse. We're all talking detachable blade clippers, and I do not like the way they detach from that clipper. This is much nicer. Detachable blade clippers. So that's what I'm naming here. The Andis Pulse, the Andis Excel, the Andis Pro Clip, the Andis Clip, the Joy Z Falcon, which is the one I just had in my hand. He is an A5 style clipper, detachable blade, okay? Joy Z Raptor, where you at, Raptor? Oh, he's over there, shoot. And I'm mic'd, I can't reach him. I was gonna show you him tonight too. I really wanna show you him. Hang on, I'm going to get him. We need that clipper because I have something that I wanna show you when it comes to that clipper. Give me a second. Yes. Now, this is a great clipper. This is a newer clipper. I guess I should put my mic back on. All right. Boy, if I only had an assistant. Where's Gus when I need him? Okay, so this is the Joy Z Raptor. This is also a detachable blade clipper. When I say detachable blade, it's a hard one to get off. I mean the blade detaches as such. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that one tonight. Some of you may have this clipper. He's a powerhouse. We're going to talk, we say detachable blade clippers, we mean the Sapphire by Heininger, the Artero Hit, the Oster Golden A5, the Oster Primo. There's many more. Those are detachable blade clippers, also known as A5. So now we're on the same page, right? Okay. Then we're going to talk about 5-in-1 clippers. Oh God, there's so many. So we'll be talking about the Kenchi Flash. We'll be talking about the Kenchi Flash 5. We'll be talking about the Wall Bravera, which I don't have one anymore. I used to. We'll be talking about the Wall Arco. These are 5-in-1 adjustable blade clippers. 5-in-1 clippers are known as adjustable blade clippers. Detachable blade clippers are known as A5 style clippers. Okay? I just want to write it down. Just go ahead and write it down. We're going to be talking about the Joy Z Hornet, this little guy. We're going to be talking about the Joy Z Stinger, which I don't have that. We're even going to be talking about the Joy Z Piranha tonight. So just relax. And those are all names of 5-in-1 clippers, which are known as adjustable blade clippers. Then we're going to talk about trimmers, like this little guy. This is considered a trimmer, not a clipper. I know, why do we have to be so technical? But we do. He's considered a trimmer. And I'm going to tell you, when you would use it, and if you really need to, or if you would want to, or why you would want to. What are the capabilities? Where does this little baby clipper shine? Okay, we will talk about that. Arco also makes a mini. Wall Arco makes a mini, which is comparable to this little Hornet mini. He's not the Hornet. That's the Hornet. This is the Hornet mini. I will show you close up on screen, don't you worry. There are differences. Please don't confuse them. This is just a little guy. He's $99. There's only one thing you can do with him, and he does not have an adjustable blade. So he's called a trimmer. That's what determines a trimmer. Does the blade detach and you can put other blades on it? That's a detachable blade. Or does the blade adjust to other blade sizes? That's an adjustable blade. This guy does neither. Yes, you can take the blade off to replace it, but you can't put any other blade size on, no guard combs, nothing like that. So we're going to talk about that. Now let's go into clipper capabilities. This is where I'm going to have to be on top of my game and start plugging things up on the screen and making sure that I don't forget to tell you anything in my notes. So the capabilities of the clippers, we're going to start with A5 style clippers, also known as detachable blade clippers, right? When the blade goes on like that, has a blade release, a blade drive. This is a detachable blade clipper, also known as an A5. I'm going to let you hear him for a second. Where's my mic? I hope I don't cut my hair. I'm going to let you hear the Raptor on low. That's low. The difference, right? I know a lot of you want to hear the sound. This is the Raptor. And this is the Wall on low. Wow, big difference. And you want to hear the new Falcon? Detachable blade A5 clipper on low. A little quieter than the Raptor. A little bit. But they have a different motor. They both have brushless motors. The Raptor and the KM, the Wall, this is a Wall brand, this is a Joyzy brand. Both are great clippers. They do have brushless motors, which is absolutely the way to go. So both of them have that going for them. It's wonderful. But they do have variations to their motors. So if sound bothers you, you may want to consider the Wall KM10. The performance on both clippers is great. So now we're talking about A5 clippers, detachable clippers, remember? They have something only an A5 clipper style can offer. This type of clipper they are the only types of clipper that can offer, what is it? Torque, real torque. A5 style clippers are the only clippers that can offer that. Torque is the ability to power through those areas of resistance in the coat. Most A5 clippers, detachable blades, most A5 clipper types have this feature of torque. But this is something that sets apart these two clippers. This one has the ability to rev a little, your adjustable blade clippers, as you're hitting resistance in the coat, but this one doesn't bat an eye. This one goes, oh, I'm feeling resistance. I'm going to kick it into overdrive, and it just plows right through it. It's just the difference of a detachable blade clipper. So that is one of the biggest things that I want you to understand about A5 detachable blade clippers is that torque that they have. That is actually a very valuable thing to have in a clipper. So all your A5 clippers tend to have it, but not all of them have mastered fine-tuning this torque in their clippers. So some are better than others when it comes to A5 clippers and torque. But what is torque? In other words, when you're clipping a dog and the clipper blade experiences an area that is maybe matted, or it's thicker, or it's heavier, the coat is heavier in that area, this clipper type will continue to provide power to the clipper blade and plow right through those areas of resistance. So let me show you again a picture. I have a picture of, here it is. Nope, not. These are all detachable blade clippers, A5 style clippers. The Wall KM, the Joyzy Raptor, and the Joyzy Falcon. They are all detachable blades, and they all have that torque that I'm talking about, the ability to provide it when it's needed, it's there. And that is a valuable thing in pet grooming, let me just tell you. The Wall KM10, which is the pinkish colored one on the left there, the Wall KM10 has definitely mastered the feature of torque. I feel, you know, from using different clippers, they've mastered it. I've yet to find another clipper on the market today that compares to the torque in the Wall KM10. It is impressive. The Wall KM or the Wall KM10, the Wall KM is the cordless version of the Wall KM10. They can be purchased either corded or cordless. So that's why one's KM and one is KM10. I've linked both models in the description below if you are looking for one clipper that can cover all the clipping tasks such as full body grooms, sanitary trimming, and detailed work on the face, the feet, the tail, then you may really think about the Wall KM10 or the Joyzy Raptor, the Joyzy Falcon. Most any detachable blade clipper on the market is going to definitely have more benefits and give you more options when you're trimming than an adjustable blade clipper. But we're gonna go deeper on that in a little bit, guys. The only thing is the difference between a lot of detachable blade clippers is some just are better than others, and some last longer. The Wall KM10 offers a 5-year warranty on their clipper. I don't work for Wall, guys, so just so you know, you do know that. I don't work for Wall. I don't work for anybody but me. But the Wall KM10 and the Wall KM cordless offer a 5-year warranty on their clipper, and I can't find another clipper on the market today that offers that. Most of them are all 1-year warranty, which typically if something is going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong within the first year. So I will agree with that. But that's how much Wall believes in their product. So the next thing I want to show you, oh boy, this is a busy chat. Okay. There we go. All right, we're going to move on a little bit here. I'm going to show you another picture. I am looking for this guy right here. So let me turn that off. So we're looking at 3 detachable blade clippers right now on the screen, guys, the same 3. I wanted to put them in my hand so you could see the approximate size. They really aren't big. A lot of people say, oh, it's an A5 clipper, it's gaudy, it's big, it's heavy. Not necessarily true. They've come a long way over the years, and detachable blade clippers are comfortable in your hand. They're powerhouses, you know, so they are just wonderful. But this is to give you an idea of the size of a typical A5 detachable blade clipper and how it fits in my hand. You see the Joyzy Raptor, you see the Falcon, and you see the Wall KM in this picture. Every A5 style clipper ships with a number 10 blade. Okay, guys? So you always get a number 10 blade, which is what you're going to use to trim sanitary areas. And it's also what you're going to use with your guard comb attachments. So you would use that number 10 blade, put the guard comb attachments over it, you're ready to rock. So all your A5 style clippers come ready to go. If you want to use guard combs, you must purchase them separately, which is typical of any clipper. If you would rather use another blade on the body, such as a 5 or a 4, you must purchase it separately, but they're easy to swap out and they're available to you. Another benefit A5 clippers offer is their strength. They are so strong, they're so durable. They are definitely the most reliable clippers, you know. A5 clippers are strong, they will plow through anything. So that's one thing to consider when you're looking at clippers, guys. Sometimes you can't compare A5 clippers to adjustable blade clippers depending on your grooming needs. So A5 clippers give you the option to pick different blades and guard combs of whatever brand guard combs you like, as long as they're made for a detachable blade clipper. Another benefit is that with A5 clippers, those blades and those attachments are all universal. So let me talk to you for a second. So what that means is, as you can see, I have a wall KM clipper right here, and I have a Joy Z blade on it. They're all universal. The Raptor can take the wall blades just fine. He's wearing a Joy Z blade right now too. But the Raptor can take anything, an Oster blade, Fresh Grooms blades, Buttercut, Guide. All detachable blades will work on a detachable clipper. That's because these guys were first. The way they were designed, it's all there. I'm going to show you some serious differences here in a second, so stay put. Same with guard comb attachments, guys, which I don't have one in front of me. That was bad. But you know what guard comb attachment is. It goes over top of here and it sets the length of your clip. You can use Schern-Bauer guard combs for a detachable blade. You can use Walls. You can use Joy Z's. You can use Fresh Grooms. You can use an off-brand as long as it's for a detachable blade clipper. You can use whatever guard combs you want. If somebody gave you some, or if you already had some and you get a new detachable blade clipper, you can use those other blades and guard combs with that clipper as long as they are detachable blades and detachable blade guard combs. So I think it's important for you guys to understand that. Let's move on here. I've got a lot to tell you. All right, now I got to flip over to another image. Oh yes, we were just on the topic of blades and guard combs. Since we're on the topic, I do want to tell you guys my favorite clipper blades and wide clipper blades for detachable clippers are made by Joy Z. I love the blades. We've waited a long time for an innovative blade to hit the market, and it did. Joy Z brought that. I've been using them nonstop for over a year, and I love them. My favorite A5 guard comb attachments are still the Wall stainless set, guys. They're just there's a little bit more give in them, I guess you could say. They're easier to get on and off as well. They have a spring in them. So these are my favorites. I used the Wall stainless set for a long time, and then I started trying a lot of other brands because I thought, why not? Maybe they're better. But I always come back to the Wall stainless steel set, and that is still my favorite. So that is, I have to say, I have to be honest with you guys. The Wall stainless steel set is my favorite for the regular size detachable blades. My favorite wide guard comb attachment, now we're talking wide, I'm really loving the ones by Fresh Shears. I bought the whole set. Did I put that back in Hershey? I think so. Anyway, I really like the wide guard combs, especially made by Fresh Shears. I can't exactly put my finger on why, but I will dissect all that in my brain. What I do sometimes is I sit down and I look at these tools and I brainstorm and say, why do I like you so much? I do it all the time. So I've linked these three things, the Joy Z blades, the Wall stainless guard comb set for regular blades, and the wide stainless guard combs from Fresh for wide blades. But yes, I often will sit down with my tools. I will look at, I'll take the blade off. I'll stare for a long time at the mechanics and how it works. And then I'll take a blade from another clipper, pull that off, and I'll stare at it and I'll use it. I use them all the time, so I know how they work. But I will figure out why it is that I like that Fresh wide guard comb, as I have about 3 different brands of wide guard combs, and that seems to be the one that I kind of go to a lot. I'll figure it out, and stay tuned. Don't you? I'll tell you when I figure it out. Sometimes things have to sort themselves out in my brain. You know how that is. All right. So moving on here, guys, let's take a look at something else. This is so important. I really want you to pay attention. I really want you to take a look at this. Oh my goodness. All right. Look at the difference between the blade drive, which is what moves the blade. Look at the blade drive on the clipper and look at the blade on the A5 clipper compared to an adjustable 5-in-1 clipper type. Do you see it? Do you see what stands out to you right away, guys? I mean, we're talking, it's obvious. So we're looking at the difference. One is an adjustable blade, one is a detachable blade. The difference between using a detachable A5 blade clipper and a 5-in-1 adjustable blade clipper can be compared to a 4x4 truck and a 2x4 truck. 4x4 is four-wheel drive, guys. 2x4 means it's not four-wheel drive, okay? It has its limitations. The suspension and the powertrain on the 4x4 truck is stronger and more capable of getting you through rough terrain as compared to the 2x4 truck, right? Well, that same principle applies to an A5 style detachable blade clipper that has a stronger build and a more powerful motor to plow through any coat type. This is what makes the A5 stronger. I mean, look at the blade itself. It's not made of springs. It's not spring loaded. It's metal, and the thing that moves that metal is that powerful A5 clipper, just like the 4x4. Now we take a look at a 5-in-1. They are lovely to have, and I do use them all the time, guys. I'm explaining to you differences. I'm explaining to you where one is capable of something that others isn't, okay? So that's where we're going with today's live stream. The 5-in-1 is more like the 2x4, okay? It's just gonna get you there in style. You're gonna feel good getting there, but you're gonna run into something and go, oh, you're not the one for me right now, right? You can't get me up that hill like the 4x4 truck can. This is a great way to compare these two types of clippers because typically people are using either 5-in-1 clippers or A5 clippers. A lot of people are switching all the way over to a 5-in-1 clipper, even as professionals, and I can't ever see myself doing that. I can't ever see myself doing that. There are just those times when I want that power, I get a better finish, I get there faster because the clipper is not hesitating or getting hung up in anything. And I just never see myself not going for an A5 clipper most of the time. But there is a place for that 5-in-1 that I use all the time. We'll be talking about that. So why don't we do that now? Now, let's move on and talk about the adjustable blade clipper types. Let me show you a picture, just so you have it. Whew, my chat. I think it's jumping around here. All right. This is another shot. I forgot to show you this, guys. Back to the detachable blade clipper, A5 style clipper. This is another shot of all the blade drives, what the blade sits on, what moves the blade, the housing of the clipper. It's solid. It's 4x4, right? It's heavy duty. And that, you know, because we can see here in the 5-in-1 clipper, the blade drive is one tiny little pin, right? It fits perfectly in that tiny little plastic slot on the 5-in-1 clipper. The A5 style clipper, the blade drive is very wide, very solid, very strong, and fits right inside the slot on the clipper blade. And that metal is not going to slip, and that clipper blade is not going to slip. It's stronger. That's one of the biggest things that I want you guys to understand about the A5 clippers. But let's talk about adjustable blade clippers, which is what we're looking at right now on the screen. These are also known as 5-in-1 clippers, 4-in-1 sometimes. They are 4-blade adjustable, or they adjust to 5 blades. The Kenchi Flash original is a 4-in-1. But they all typically go from like a 9, 10, 15 blade size, 30, and 40. Those are the adjustable blade sizes underneath, and you can use them with guard combs. So, but specific guard combs. Let's talk about that. All right, am I showing you the right picture? Yes, I am. Okay, so one of the things that I want you to understand about a 5-in-1 clipper, and there's many. This includes the Wall Bravera, the Arco, by Wall. That is also a 5-in-1 clipper. Only guard comb attachments made for 5-in-1 clippers are compatible. That's not a showstopper, because with the detachable blade clipper, only detachable blade guard combs are going to work with it. However, they're universal across models. It's not always the same with a 5-in-1 clipper type. Some 5-in-1 clippers require you to use guard comb attachments specific to that clipper only. Now, Joyzy and Kenchi, they have been offering a lot more freedom and compatibility over other clipper brands with their 5-in-1 clippers. The Joyzy and the Kenchi have definitely been considering all those things, and they're offering more compatibility between other models of 5-in-1 when it comes to guard combs and even blades at times. But there are still some models of the Joyzy clippers, or yes, of the Joyzy clipper, that will require you to use only the blades and the guard combs for that specific model or for that brand. That is typical. Don't be mad at anybody. Don't be mad at anybody, because we're talking about 5-in-1 clippers. That is very typical of any 5-in-1 clipper, that you have to use a specific blade by that company or guard combs. They limit you to use specific blades and guard combs, whereas this is not a factor with the A5 style clipper. You're not limited to any specific brand or to any specific brand of blade. You're not limited. You can use whatever. Any detachable blade will work. 5-in-1 clippers they're capable. Now listen, I'm going to turn this off. We're looking at 5-in-1 clippers right now, right? Let me scroll up a little so I don't lose my place. I'm going to come here and talk to you. Okay. Hi. How you doing? All right, guys. I'm just trying to have fun. I feel so serious tonight. I like to have a little fun in my live streams, and I feel like I'm being so serious and technical, but everything here is technical tonight. So 5-in-1 clippers are definitely capable of performing full body haircuts. Definitely. I've done it many times. Other groomers have done it many times with beautiful success. I'll say it again. 5-in-1 clippers are definitely capable of performing full body haircuts. I don't want you to think they're not. But they just don't have the torque that the A5 clipper has that I mentioned earlier. And I do find that I miss that when I decide to try and go ahead and just give this golden doodle a full trim with the 5-in-1 clipper with guard combs on it. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I would have done a better job with the A5 clipper. But I wanted to get through it. This is comfortable. It's ease of use. It's capable, absolutely capable. You definitely want to make sure your coats are perfectly prepared, because this clipper just doesn't have the torque if it's not. However, this clipper can't go through a matted coat with a guard comb. No clipper can. You always want to make sure your coats are perfectly prepared, and you can slide a dog grooming comb through the dog after you've bathed, conditioned, and dried and brushed it before you clip it. That's the prerequisite to clipping any dog. But a lot of people just choose not to do it. And then they fight with their clippers. They fight with their clipper and their blades not going through the coat. But when the 5-in-1 clipper type experiences resistance, it may struggle to clip properly in those areas. So that's one thing I want you to know about the 5-in-1 clipper. They are wonderful, but they do have some limitations. They do. And I just want you to understand, some models of a 5-in-1 clipper offer brand-specific blade size options, and they can be purchased separately. So when I say that, I'm talking about like the Joyzy Hornet here. You can purchase a 3-blade, a 4-blade, a 5, a 7 blade to put on this, and he can behave just like this clipper and blade. Does it do as good of a job with those clipper blades, because they are made of plastic-ish, as an A5 metal blade? No, not to me. It doesn't do as good of a job. If this was the only clipper I had that day, I could make it work. I could absolutely make it work. It would take me longer. I might get a little frustrated at times, but I could make it work. I'd probably have to do a lot of blending scissor work afterwards to make this look pretty with a blade on it, but it can be done. Certain coat types are going to clip better than others. Those poodle coat types always clip beautifully. But we all know every dog can't be a poodle on our grooming table with that beautiful, perfect coat that stands straight up. The clippers like that. It's easy to set a perfect length, right? But so some models of your A5 clippers, you can buy blades. Schönbau had a clipper you could buy blades. The Kenchi Flash now, I believe, well, the Kenchi Flash has blades, and the Flash 5, I think, has blades you can buy with it instead of just having to rely on guard combs. Because with a 5-in-1, you have to have guard combs on it, or it's too short. So you must be very careful when you're reading what blades and guard comb attachments are compatible with the 5-in-1 clipper before purchasing it. Do your homework, but definitely listen and take notes to what I'm saying here. This has proven to be an area that many people struggle to understand, which is yet another reason why I encourage you to always have an A5 style clipper, is just that they don't understand what, if I buy this clipper, can I buy blades? And then they buy the clipper and they can't find the blades for it. This one you can, but there are some 5-in-1s that you wouldn't be able to. So I don't want you guys to become discouraged. I want you to get what you want. None of these clippers are cheap. They're not, and they shouldn't be, because they're all great clippers, but they have differences. There are no guard comb restrictions with an A5 style clipper. Such a benefit, and they cover all your clipping needs for sure. So let's take a look at another image here. I want to show you guys the difference here. This is the Piranha. The gold one is the Piranha, and in my other hand is the Joyzy Hornet, which is a 5-in-1 clipper. Now the Piranha is a little different. The Piranha is what they call a hybrid. A lot of people simply look at the size, the weight, and the low noise of a 5-in-1 clipper, and they think that that's the only thing to consider when they're looking at one for, you know, performing all their grooming needs. It's not always just about the size, the weight, the way it feels, and the noise. You think, oh, this one feels great in my hand, I want this one. You need to be thinking about what are the capabilities of this clipper. What dogs' coat types am I going to be able to trim any coat type that lands on my table if I'm trying to decide to only use this clipper, or if I'm buying it for my own self at home and I have a golden doodle. Is this the clipper choice for me? My golden doodle tends to have a thick curly coat. So you may think, maybe that 5-in-1 clipper isn't the one for me, and I'd have to advise you that it is not if you have a golden doodle or a poodle. I would prefer you to have the A5 clipper and then buy the blades and the guard comb attachments that you like. So that is very important to note. But a lot of people think, you know, hey, this feels great in my hand, it's lightweight, I'm getting this clipper. It's not just like that, guys. Remember this image here? I'm here to tell you there's so much more to consider than the look and feel of a clipper when you want to have successful dog grooming sessions. I really hope you hear me say that, guys. There's so much more to it than the look and feel and the noise that a clipper makes and produces. If it's low noise, you know, you think, this is great, I'm going to get it. There's more to purchasing a clipper for successful sessions than that. A big plus to using a 5-in-1 clipper is the blades do not get hot because they're made of plastic, which then again isn't that strong. They're strong enough. They seem to hold sharp edges well. They've got some plastic in there. They are metal. Now, I shouldn't say they're made of plastic. Some of them are strictly metal blades, but there's plastic components to it, and that's what makes it unsharpenable for one thing, and clip differently. Plus the teeth are always very close together on a 5-in-1 clipper. Have you always noticed that? So of course, you know, the fact that the blades don't get hot, that's great, and that is a trade-off because the plastic parts are not going to conduct heat like a metal blade. It's just impossible. So this is a reason why the adjustable clipper blades can't be sharpened, though, because they do have plastic parts to them. They can't sharpen that. So Joyzy just released a new clipper, the hybrid. So I want to talk on this one because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of questions from people in my audience about this clipper, and it is super, super nice, and I do have it. There's only times when I go for it. I couldn't say I would go for it as an all day, everyday clipper for any coat type, any dog, but it is nice. It's a newer clipper. It's called the Piranha. Joyzy calls it the hybrid because it has a look and feel of a 5-in-1 clipper type, but it uses blades like an A5 detachable clipper. Do you see the blade there, guys? That's metal. Both the cutting edge and the blade itself are metal. But what I also want you to know is it still has that blade drive of a 5-in-1, which is that little bitty pin. Still has that plastic part that has to connect onto the blade to move the blade instead of metal. So there's some strength, you know, it's still more like a 5-in-1 in that aspect than it is like an A5 detachable blade clipper, honestly, guys. So you still have that same blade type, although it can be sharpened because both the cutting edge and the blade are metal. Now I need to show you something else. Oh, here, I have a good picture for you. There you go. Let's compare. A5 clipper on the right, again, the Piranha is on the left. It is, you know, the brand says it's a hybrid, and it's similar. It is similar to an A5, but it's more similar to a 5-in-1 clipper, including the blade, than an A5 clipper style. I mean, here's the difference right here. You're looking at them. You're looking at the differences. And I really wanted to show you guys this. I think it's important. We see a lot of people trying them and using them and even suggesting them, but they're not showing you this, the difference. You just want to know the difference, that's all. You already know it feels good in your hand. You already know it is going to clip pretty decently unless you run into a troubled coat. It may struggle a little, but it is still capable. I will say that. This clipper is capable of pretty much anything. A couple things I want to tell you about this Piranha because there is a lot of questions about it, and I'm trying to put it in a class of its own because it really is. There's no other clipper like it, especially because of the blade. Because of the blade, okay? Does that blade produce better work than a regular 5-in-1 clipper with a 7 blade on it? I have not noticed that it produces better work. That I have not noticed. But it does, it's light, it feels good, it does do a decent job depending on coat type, and that's very important. But one thing I want to tell you guys about this Piranha clipper is it does have a bundle package option if you purchase it. You can purchase it as a bundle package, which then it includes an additional 3 blade, a 4 blade, a 5, and a 7 blade. So it gives you those main blade sizes if you buy the bundle. So if you have a smaller dog, a Maltese, a Yorkie, you know, even a little Yorkapoo, something just without a very, very dense, heavy coat, I'd say you could, if you were only grooming your own dog, you may like this clipper a lot, especially if you purchase that bundle package. And it's also, I have to make sure you understand now what guard combs do you use with the Piranha. Let's go back to, let's take a look at this one. What guard combs would you use with this clipper? This clipper uses A5 style detachable blade guard combs, okay? It's very important to understand that. So the guard combs that you use on your Wall KM10, or let's call it your detachable blade clipper, you are supposed to be able to use them with this clipper, okay? I had a little trouble getting them on or off. I think maybe it's just a slightly different variance in the shape of the blade, but I guess it works. One thing that concerns me is I don't want to wrench around on my guard combs trying to make them fit on a blade when they feel like they don't want to fit. And I kind of feel like they don't want to fit on this clipper. I got to keep working. Maybe I'll try a couple of other brands. Maybe the Wall has a lot of spring tension in their stainless steel guard combs. Maybe they would work better than the Joy Z guard combs. I don't know. But because this is a universal style clipper as far as guard combs go, not blades, very specific. This clipper, you can only use blades made for the Piranha. Make no mistake. That doesn't make it bad, but you have to be willing to commit to that. I had to get a little drink of water and talking a lot in here. All right, the blades on the Piranha clipper, they can also be sharpened. So that's something different and cool about this clipper. So let me show you, where are we at here? I'm losing track of where I am. Yes. Oh, I wanted to show you the size comparison between the Hornet and the Piranha. So you can see, is that here? No, I mismarked it. There it is. Okay. It really is the size, and it feels the weight. In fact, it might feel a little, it feels great. It's slimmer, it's thinner. It might be slightly heavier than the Hornet, but it couldn't be much. It couldn't be. It's very, very hard to notice it. So it feels like a 5-in-1 clipper, which is what it was designed to do. They claim that this clipper is able to, you know, get splashed with water, not submerged, splashed or, you know, whatever, and it's not going to hurt it. But, you know, that's, why would you want your clipper near water? I don't put my clipper near the tub, so it's not something that I would ever have to worry about anyway. I don't clip a dog when they're wet. And even if you did, that's not going to kill your clipper as long as it's not dripping wet and water's getting in and all over your clipper. But anyway, this is to show you the size comparison and the way it would fit in your hand as compared to a 5-in-1 clipper. And it does compare to that, which is, you know, got a lot of people's attention. And I understand that. Just know that if you choose this type of clipper, that you have to use the Piranha blades, but you can use any of the A5 style stainless guard combs, whether it's Wall, Joy Z, Fresh Groom. Everybody makes them now. Andis, Artero, they all make guard combs. Everybody makes them now. So something to think about. I wanted to touch pretty hard on the Piranha, showing you the size difference too. There really isn't. It's the size of a 5-in-1 clipper, which is pretty nice. Now we're going to talk about some cutesy pootsy little thing. All right. A lot of people are curious about this, and I've been asked, when would you use it? All right. What are these little trimmers? Now, we're talking about the little trimmer on the right-hand side, the little guy. You can obviously see which guy's the little guy, right? What can they do for you? What can they do? And they are called trimmers. And I explained that a minute ago. It's called a trimmer, the little guy, because there are no other blade sizes that you can get for this clipper, and you can't use guard combs with it. There aren't any. So the only thing you get is this single blade. So it's called a trimmer for that reason. So pictured on the right is the trimmer style clipper. This one in particular is the Joy Z Hornet Mini. Don't confuse it with the Joy Z Hornet. Joy Z Hornet is a 5-in-1. Joy Z Mini is a trimmer. Be certain to understand the difference. Now, I'm showing you the difference in size as compared to the Hornet, which is a 5-in-1 clipper, so that you get an idea of how small it truly is. It's a tiny little guy. The Hornet Mini feels like holding a magic marker. It's that little. It's tiny. It's a cute little thing, but when would you use it? What's the deal with this? Well, this clipper has a fixed all but 40 blade. It's right between a 35, it's 0.6, is it 0.6 millimeters? It's right between a 35 blade and a 40 blade. That's very short. It does not offer any other blade sizes and is not compatible with any guard combs. So you need to understand that. This clipper type is only intended to use when trimming paw pads in the grooming world. You know, in the professional grooming world, as a professional, when would someone use this clipper? to trim the paw pads. That's pretty much it. The blade is surgical short. It's a 40 blade. That's surgical short. If your dog needs stitches, they're using a 40 blade or a 50. They're using a short blade. If your dog is going in for neuter surgery or getting blood work, they're using a 40 blade. We don't go that short on our dogs. That's dangerous short to go that short any other time. But obviously for surgery, they have to do that. So this little mini clipper would be great for vets. That I can see the purpose right there. That is a great clipper for vets. But it is a 40 blade. It's a fixed 40 blade. It does not adjust to anything other than a 40. And a 40 blade can cause irritation if it's used on the body, the face, the private areas. Now, Joyzy claims that this one is safe enough to use in those areas, but I want you to proceed with caution. Okay? They would never suggest you do a full haircut. They call it a touch-up trimmer, and I agree with that. Touch-up around the lips, you know, that area in the flue where food gets caked. Sometimes I like to take that short. I like to stretch the lip back and take it short. You never see it, but it keeps the dog's mouth cleaner. If you're very, very, very gentle using it, you can gently just remove the hair right in front of the corner of the dog's eyes, but you do not want to apply any pressure on this blade. Do not go in and touch the skin and push. Don't do it. It's too short. It's going to hurt the dog. So I agree that it can be considered a little detailed touch-up clipper. And if you're really, you know, a professional groomer, you could use this in so many ways to, you know, do the detail work at your tuck-ups. You know, just detail that in. But you definitely don't want to touch this to a dog's bum. It's too short. You got to be real careful. I just feel like it just really shines as a paw pad trimmer, especially for tiny little dogs, you know, in the pads of the feet. It's fantastic. It's so lightweight, you don't even realize you have it in your hand. But I definitely discourage the use of this clipper on any other area of a dog other than the pads of the feet, unless you are very experienced groomer or a groomer, an experienced groomer. So you could smoke this guy too. I mean, he's cute. Look at that. I don't smoke anymore. I used to. Can you believe that? But yeah, he's a cute little trimmer. And you know where I'm saying around the flank skin, where we often, you know, have to kind of graze our clippers in there just to get those straggly hairs. You can use this little clipper as a detail clipper to get all those little straggly hairs that are sticking out after you've clipped the dog. But you have to be on your A game for grooming to be that good with a clipper. So that would be one area that I would use it in. But if you're a beginner, I don't suggest you doing that. You're probably going to put holes in the coat and you're going to get upset. So don't do that. I don't want you getting upset. Now, let's go through a couple things real quick. Let's describe. Remember, if you have questions, guys, hold the dash bar, create a line, and I'm only fielding questions that are in reference to clippers tonight, okay? So clipper questions. All right, I'll be taking questions in a minute. What are the downfalls to these clippers? Well, let's start with A5. Okay, whoops, that's not an A5. Neither is that. Did I put the wrong image in? I think I did. That's an A5 clipper. Huh, I did mess that up. Okay, I'm sorry. So we're going to start with A5 style clippers, detachable blade clippers. What's a downfall? Well, they're heavier than a 5-in-1 clipper. That's for sure. They have to be. They got a powerful motor in there with a suspension. Don't forget, yeah, along with power comes some weight. They're not terrible heavy. I've used them my whole life as a groomer, and I do not have any problems with my wrist or hands. So apparently I chose the right clipper and the right clipping techniques. That's very important. Another downfall to this A5 detachable blade clipper, or any detachable blade clipper, is they do tend to be a little more noisy. I shouldn't say noisy. They sound different. The sound, listen to this. This is an A5 clip. This is a 5-in-1. It sounds like your husband's beard trimmer. You're never going to get that sound out of an A5 clipper. Let me turn an A5 clipper on here for you. This is the power stroke of clippers. So yes, the noise is different. on an A5 clipper. A lot of people listen to that noise on the 5-in-1 and they say, I want that clipper. Well, yeah, you want that noise. You're not going to get that in an A5 clipper. You're also not going to get the power that the A5 clipper has. But it is a downfall as far as some people are concerned, the noise and the vibration of a A5 clipper over a 5-in-1 clipper, because with that power comes a little bit of vibration, not a lot, it's not bad, and a little bit of a different and more noise. Another downfall to A5 clippers is the metal blades will heat up and they must be cooled or switched out for a cool blade during dog grooming sessions. Now, that's not a flaw by far. It's metal. It's a heavy-duty metal blade. It's going to heat up. All detachable blades will heat up. But I will say that the Joy-Z line of blades, with that special powder coating they got on there, they definitely do not get as hot. I love the new Joy-Z blades. I can't speak about them enough. Now, we're talking about detachable blades and wide blades. They're wonderful. Definitely reimagined those blades, and it was a wonderful time to bring that to the market because we were dying for it as professionals. We wanted some better blades on the market. So now we're going to talk about the downfalls of 5-in-1 clippers. And when I say downfalls, this is pros and cons, okay, guys? These are all great clippers, but they do have limitations. So the construction of the blade drive is definitely not as strong as the A5 clipper. The blades are not as strong as an A5 clipper blade, both of those things. So that's a downfall. From a groomer's standpoint, it is a downfall. Another downfall is some of the models of 5-in-1 clippers, they only offer brand-specific blade size options. And you have to purchase them separately, which that's okay, but some of them are specific to the brand. You have to use that blade. So you just got to be careful when you're reading what blades and what guard comb attachments are compatible with each 5-in-1 clipper before you purchase it. 5-in-1 clippers use 5-in-1 guard comb attachments. So you got to remember that. Or also they'll say for adjustable blade clippers. That's a 5-in-1 clipper. Adjustable blade clippers cannot be repaired. This is a downfall. Oh, in my opinion, because they're not cheap. They cannot be repaired and the parts are not replaceable if you wear them out. So if you wear them out, you go out back and you have a burial. Okay. If you want me to make a post, your clipper had to go underground, I'll make a post on my community tab and we'll send him off with a good farewell. Okay. Another downfall, I'm just getting bored, I think, all this teaching. Another downfall to 5-in-1 clippers is when the blades do go dull, and any clipper blade is going to go dull, they have to be replaced on the 5-in-1 adjustable blade clipper. They have to be replaced with a new blade for that clipper. They can't be sharpened unless it's the Piranha. But I do not call the Piranha a 5-in-1 clipper. So, okay, let's just take that out of the category of 5-in-1 clippers. The Piranha, made by Joy-Z, is not a 5-in-1 clipper for one reason. The blade. Aside from the blade, it's a 5-in-1 clipper. Okay, just got confused. But it's called a hybrid. So it's a great clipper. I love it. The blades and guard comb attachments can be difficult to put on a 5-in-1 clipper. That's another thing. A lot of people are struggling with that. Putting blades and guard combs on your 5-in-1 clippers. A lot of people, so putting a blade on your 5-in-1 clipper is much different than putting a blade on your Wall KM10 or your detachable. Look at me. I look like I'm confusing myself. Your detachable clipper blade is so easy to get on and off. So easy. And when it's on there, it's on there. It's nice. Man, I like those clippers. So these guys, it's a little flimsy, you know, it is what it is. I don't have a problem. There's a little lip you have to line up. I've made reels, shorts, at all. If you guys need to know how to put this blade on, I have shorts. I have an Instagram feed post on my Instagram. I have all kinds of information about how to get these blades on. For your Joy-Z Hornet, same thing. It does not go on like your Wall KM10. It's different. A lot of people get these clippers And they go, I can't even get the blade on, you know. I'm sorry, then practice it, because it is different. So practice it, because it is different than this type of clipper blade. So, but that's it. I'm going to put it in the category of downfalls, of cons, because people complain about it. Can't get the guard combs or the blades on and off my 501 clipper. So that falls into a con, right? So trimmer, the little trimmer guy, let's look at that. Wow, I really did mess up my notes here. Trimmer, where is he? Oh, there he is. I have the different number. I have him numbered wrong. I did it. I did it. The trimmer downfalls, it's just simple, guys. It's this simple. You are very limited when you use the little guy. The little guy on the right, the little mini trimmer. You're very limited to your uses for this trimmer type. And it truly is only safe for a beginner to use if trimming the paw pads of the feet. When the blade dulls on this little bitty type of trimmer, you must replace it with a new blade. They're not terrible expensive, it's fine, and they cannot be sharpened. So I have to mention downfalls, and those are the downfalls. Now, let me tell you another time somebody is going to love this little trimmer. Any of my show people out there, people who show their own dogs or who show dogs or handle dogs and have to prepare the dogs, when you show dogs, you don't want one stray little hair sticking out anywhere. This little detail clipper, and he's so quiet, listen to him. He has 2 speeds. Holds a very long charge. Just a cutie patootie, this little guy. So you're getting ready to put your dog in the show ring. You have him up on the table, you know, where you're prepping your dog. And you see a couple wild hairs. This little guy is good to just turn it on. I have to press and hold. There it is. And just get in there. And that's why it's called a detailed trimmer. You know, around the flank, hair sticking out over the toes that you don't want to see. You just baby trim it off. That's what we do in the show ring. We want our babies to look perfect. So this little guy will come in handy if you are a show groomer. Has a huge battery life. It is linked in the description below if you're in the market for something like this. But I could really see it benefiting my show people, my show groomers, or my breeder pet parents who show their dogs. But not to give a hair. Do not take this anywhere else on the dog. You're going to cause wild inflammation and irritation, and your dog will never make it in the show ring with that. So he's cute, but very limited. Has a purpose, though. Definitely has a purpose. If I was somebody who showed a dog, I would have one of those, and I would take it with me. The battery life is so long. I could charge it up. It probably would last me several shows, because the battery on all these Joy Z clippers, the battery has a memory. That is another thing that Joy Z did that really shines. The battery remembers how much charge it has, and it doesn't just keep trickling down if it sits on a shelf for a month. It holds that charge where it last was. The battery is very sophisticated in all of the Joy Z trimmers, as well as the Kenchi trimmers. So that's something to note. I want you guys to know that too, because I think it's something you would want to consider to know. When I recommend using each clipper, okay, we're narrowing down here, guys. All right, then I have something cool I want to show you inside of every clipper. I'll show you. Okay, let's start here. When I recommend using each clipper, let's start with an A5 clipper like this. This is your Wall KM10. It'll also be the new Joy Z Falcon. So I'll hold him up, okay, because he's new. Voila! This is a good clipper. Very light, ergonomically nice. Fits in your hand real nice. As compared to this guy, I don't like the blade release on the Falcon, and the sound is way different. I was trying to think, there was one more thing that I was like, well, It's lighter than the KM10. So here's the sound of the Falcon. It has like a squeal. It's just the motor. It's a type of motor. It's fine. And then this guy sounds like a 4x4, but this is the Wall KM10. It's a bit quieter. So that doesn't bother me though. Quiet doesn't, you know, this isn't obnoxious by any means. So let's talk about when I would use this type of clipper. My notes just jumped off on me. Okay, this type of trimmer, which is an A5 or a detachable blade clipper, is great for trimming any size dog or coat type. Boom, there I said it. This clipper is great for any size dog, any coat type. Curly, straight, flowy, not flowy, thick, curly, dirty, clean. This clipper can handle it best, the A5 style clipper. I can do full body haircuts with this and this goes for all A5 detachable blade clippers. For all of them, any type of A5 detachable blade clipper, I can do all the body clipper work, all the head clipper work, all the feet clipper work, and all the sanitary clipper work. I just have to be certain to change to a 10 blade if I'm going to do any sanitary work. Around the privates, around the eyes, I want to switch to a 10 blade, but not a problem. These are detachable blade clippers. Do you see why I'm saying I don't like the blade release? Now, I do have fingernails, but so do a lot of other groomers. I've never had to feel that way about a clipper until I had fingernails, but it's really firm. Okay, I can't even get it to open. This is the Wall KM10. It's very easy to get the blade to release. I was trying to release the blade on that Falcon, and I couldn't. Now that makes me question. Let me turn it on. Maybe it's not seated right. Oh my gosh. All right, sometimes it's like locked on there. Let me get it. Let me see what I got to do here. This is a brand new clipper, so I can't get it off right now. Literally. But it is it's like locked. It's stuck. Something is stuck. There, it popped. It sticks. The blade release sticks. It was literally locked. It would not push. You got to push that to release your blade. So maybe it's just new and tight, but I don't know. That would have ticked me off if I was grooming and I had to sit here and fight with my clipper. But so we're talking about A5 style clippers. I can do all that. If I need to trim the private areas, I have to switch to a 10 blade. It's easy to do with a detachable blade clipper. Switch to your 10 blade, then you can use the guard combs over top of that 10 blade, no problem. Lots of versatility with this clipper, but you don't need a 5-in-1 clipper to do sanitary work. You need a 10 blade. And you can get that for an A5 clipper. Obviously, you can buy a 10 blade. So, but do I feel that the 5-in-1 clippers do a nicer, smoother job in those sanitary areas? Yes. And I use a 5-in-1 clipper every time I do a sanitary trim. Any dog. And that is one of the times I recommend your 5-in-1 clipper is sanitary trimming. Absolutely. Pads of feet. It's so comfortable. The teeth are very close together on a 5-in-1 clipper, and it just produces a smoother feel, I think, to the dog too, because I do notice that the dogs don't mind shaving out the paw pads as much with a 5-in-1 clipper as they do with the detachable blade. This blade is just heavy duty, I guess. It feels different, especially on little dogs. Shaving a poodle face with this is a breeze, and it's so nice because it is quiet, and some dogs do mind the sound of clippers and other dogs don't. So it just depends. But this clipper is great for shaving poodle face, feet, and tail. Any 5-in-1 clipper, which would be your Kenchi Flash, your Joyzy Hornet. They are all going to shine at the sanitary work, shaving face, feet, and tail. You can do full grooms with this clipper. You can, if you buy all the other attachments that are specific for 5-in-1 clippers. You have to be sure to do that. But I use my 5-in-1 clippers when performing every single sanitary trim on every single dog. That's what I do. One of these 5-in-1 clippers is going to be the one I use. I love them all. Can't really say. Sometimes I like the original Kenchi Flash best, and it is usually for paw pads is when I find that I like that better. The teeth on the blade is just a little bit different. The 5-in-1 clippers, they can be a great choice to give a small dog a full haircut, but they also include the sanitary trimming. You just adjust the blade to a 10 setting, and then you go ahead and do your sanitary trimming. So you can do full grooms with 5-in-1 clippers. If you had a small dog, I'd say go for it. If it was a small toy poodle with a thick coat, you may not want that. You may want the power of the A5 clipper. So even though I'm saying it could be a great choice for a small dog if you needed to do a full haircut on a small dog, this clipper type also requires you to use guard comb attachments. Sometimes they're specific to each clipper model, and sometimes not. A lot of the Joyzy and Kenchi clippers they work just fine with other brands like the Wall brands, the Wall Bravera, but not all of them do. But you do just have to make sure you purchase the guard combs, because any of the blade sizes that are standard on this blade that comes with a 5-in-1 clipper is too short to trim the body and legs of any dog. Too short. So you do need to use guard combs, and you need to be able to work those guard combs, and a lot of people struggle to get the guard combs on and off. So I don't know if this is the clipper for you if you have a small dog, because it is different getting the blades and the guard combs on and off. It's not a problem for me, but it seems to be a problem for some other people. But maybe then that isn't the right choice, the 5-in-1. Maybe, I showed you how easy it is to get the blade off of a detachable blade and back on the A5 clipper. So something to think about. And remember, the difference between A5 detachable blade clipper and a 5-in-1 adjustable blade clipper can be compared to a 4x4 truck or a 2-wheel drive truck, 2x4. Okay, don't forget that comparison. Let me show you. Oh wait, did I have it? No. That's not the one I wanted to show you. There, that's the image. Finally, get my numbers straight over here. All right, so I'm almost done teaching here. I'm going to take some questions. But I wanted to throw this image up one more time, is that comparison as the A5 is compared to a 4x4. It's going to power through. It's got a better suspension. It's got more power in the motor, more torque in the motor, just like 4x4. Whereas the 5-in-1 adjustable clipper is more like a 2x4 truck. It just may struggle if it runs into some rough terrain. The A5 clipper is definitely the 4x4 of clippers. Okay, the 5-in-1 clipper is like the 2x4, but it has its position in our grooming world. They're great. The 5-in-1 clippers are great, but they cannot replace an A5 clipper. They can't. They can, but there are areas they are going to struggle to compete as good as the A5 clipper. The 5-in-1 clipper is definitely going to struggle when clipping a thick and heavy coat, very thick coat. It's not going to struggle. It doesn't have that torque, remember? Now the little trimmer that we talked about, I rarely use that, if at all, but I do use it to trim the paw pads of a very tiny dog, and sometimes I use it to carefully trim out the corner of the eyes or the flue of a dog's mouth. And that's about it. Now I want to show you some images of, and hopefully I labeled these guys right. Yeah, what I'm showing you now, let me see if I can move stuff around so I can actually make this easier on myself. All right, hold on a second. Let me get back up there to where we're starting. Okay, starting with the screen. I need a full computer down here. It's that simple. I need it. All right, so I want to show you again the blade and the housing. I'm not even going to look at my nose because this is driving me nuts. I know what these are. Don't even need to see a note. The blade and a housing on an A5 clipper, this is the Wall KM10. I'm going to show you the inside blade and housing to all these clippers real quick. This is the Wall KM10. Notice the strength in those blades. These are detachable blades. All detachable blades are strong. But notice the strength in the blade drive and the blade release assembly, all the things on the Wall KM10. It's fantastic. Strength is very important, especially when you're doing some heavy duty grooming. Then we're going to look at the Raptor. You know, this is another A5 clipper. See the strength that you're going to get from using a clipper like this? The blade drive is not a little single pin. It's a blade drive. It's a big plastic thing that's going to shove into that blade and make it move. So these are detachable blade clippers, guys. They shine. Get awfully thirsty for water, all this talking. Whew. Okay, so same here. This is the Falcon. This is an A5 clipper. We're looking at strength, guys, okay? So you're seeing it in your A5 detachable blade clippers. This is one of the biggest differences of an A5 clipper versus a 5-in-1 clipper. See? That's the Piranha. Look at the difference. Look at the little pin that moves the blade. Look at the little slot that the pin has to fit into on the blade. Now look at the A5. This is the Falcon. Look at the A5 clipper. Solid, heavy duty. It's not going to, your transmission is not going to slip in this clipper. This is the Piranha. I wanted to show you what that looks like inside and what the blade looks like up close. The Piranha has still the springs and all the little bitty baby bars that make the blade swing back and forth. It is not a strong heavy duty metal blade. It's just not. So that is the Piranha. To me, it's more comparable to a 5-in-1, including the blade, than an A5. Now this is the Flash, the Kenchi Flash. This is we're talking 5-in-1 clipper. Look at the blade. You guys can see, if I throw these images up, you should be able to tell me what type of clipper. Is it detachable? Is it 5-in-1? If you see these little springs and this little shear pin that the blade plastic part has to fit in, it's a 5-in-1 clipper, okay? If you see some serious, you see a mechanical part that will move the blade and there's no springs, there's no little tension springs or anything, that's an A5 clipper. It's a detachable blade clipper. You need to be able to identify these and understand the strength. That's why I keep coming back to them. So let's move on. This is the inside of the Kenchi Flash 5. Kenchi Flash 5. This is the looking down into the blade of the Kenchi Flash 5. So in case you want to see how this mechanism works, this is how it works. That little pin has to go in that white plastic part, and then that's what moves the little blade swing arm back and forth, which the swing arms are those little bitty, they look like paper clips. That moves the blade. It's not as strong as an A5. You just have to understand that. It's not going to last as long because of it. It can't, you know, but we'll see. This is the Hornet. This is the Joyzy Hornet, and I do use all these clippers all the time. Look, there's hair all over it. I use them, but they have their place. They really do. I don't like to come out here and tell you guys, you can do full grooms with these no problems, because I think you're going to come into some struggles, and you're going to feel like maybe you wouldn't have had those struggles if you had bought the A5 detachable blade clipper, you know, but you can work through struggles. You can learn things about your clipper that are lacking and how to compensate for that, how to use that clipper to the best of its ability. If I had to groom any dog, whether it was matted or not matted, and I could only use a 5-in-1 clipper, even though it is pretty short, because some of these I can't get a blade for, you know. I don't like to use anything less than a 7 blade on the body of a dog. But these I would have to be using a 9, or they do make blades for most of the Kenchi Flash, or most of the detached adjustable blade clippers, but I don't have all those blades. I have a whole drawer full of detachable blades because you switch those out. That's what you do. I don't know. I could do a whole groom with a 5-in-1. So even a matted dog, I could do it. I would get there a lot faster and with ease if I was using an A5 clipper, detachable blade clipper. I would get there faster and it would be less work for me and the dog. So I'll show you the insides. That's the inside of that little baby, the little guy, the little Hornet, the Hornet Mini. That's the inside of him. So, you know, they all have their position, guys. All these clippers all have their space in the grooming world. There's no doubt about it. My point was in this video was just to talk about the differences. And I don't want to make you feel like there aren't differences, because there are. And I want you to understand that. And sometimes the capabilities are not the same. And I think I pointed that out for you really good. I hope I did. So let me jump in here and see what questions you guys might have. 199 Bridge says, what's the benefit of skip tooth blades than the original finished cut tooth? The skip tooth blade is every other tooth is missing. The benefit and the reason why the skip tooth blades exist is because they were designed to get in and really work well for matted coats, because they can sort of dive into that coat a little bit between the skin and the mats. So they're ideal for matting. However, I don't like using them for matting at all. I don't use skip tooth blades. I don't recommend anybody use skip tooth blades, because the amount of space between the teeth can catch skin, like any stretchy skin around the ears. The skin can be loose. You can catch that and cut it, really cut a dog. You can cut the flank skin. You can cut the skin on the throat. This is loose skin. If you're coming down a matted doodle with very loose skin, the skin can get in between those teeth and it can cut the dog. Do not use them. That's what they were made for. They were such a thing of the past. I don't even know why you can still buy them if you can. I don't know. I don't even look for them ever. But that's what a skip tooth blade is. I would just use a regular 7 instead of a 7 skip tooth. I would never go for a skip tooth. Summer, that's a great question because people need to hear it. So thank you for asking. Summer H7KMPP says, I have a 10 blade Andis, but when about an Andis clipper attachment set. Want one? They do not fit. Why? You probably bought the wrong set. So you have an Andis 10 blade. What clipper? Is it a 5-in-1 clipper? Does this blade adjust? Because if it does, you have to buy guard combs for an adjustable blade clipper. You have to. If it is a detachable blade clipper like this, where you press a button and pull the blade off, then you have to buy the stainless steel guard combs for detachable blades. That's part of the reason why I did this live stream tonight, because a lot of people are just going and buying stuff and they're not even understanding this is for a 5-in-1 clipper. It's not going to, then they say, why doesn't this work? Annie, I would imagine, Summer, that's the problem, that you had bought the wrong guard combs for your type of clipper and blade, which is a detachable blade or a 5-in-1. So that you have, hopefully you can go back in this video and understand better how to determine that. I know it's confusing. That's why I made this video. I'd hate to hear that you guys are not able to understand what you need to purchase to get the job done right. But I hope that you can figure it out and send the other ones back, Summer. If they don't fit on, then they're not made for that type of clipper blade. There are 5-in-1 guard combs and there are detachable blade guard combs. It's that simple. Lois says, and Lois is a hound. Hello, hounds. My home grooming journey began with a generous YouTube acquaintance gifted me a Walt Bravera with guard combs. Okay, cool. That was a nice gift. And a Schern bowl dryer. What a way to get me started. Thanks, Kim. Well, that is awesome. That is a great way to get started. And Walt Bravera with the metal guard combs, you can do a full groom with that. But you have to be very good with your prep work and very consistent in moving your clipper. That's That's the best advice I can give you too for using a 5-in-1 clipper, guys, is be very consistent in the amount of pressure and the way you're moving that coat and feeding it into the clipper. And you can do beautiful work with a 5-in-1. SVCC Toy Schnauzer says, Amy, do you have a link for us to use to purchase now that we know which clipper we want next? Uh-oh, Sean's going on a spending spree. Sean, hey, Mondays, that's what Mondays are great for, spending money, because we got the whole week to go here. Sean, there are links in the whole description of this video for pretty much every type of clipper that I talked about tonight, including blades. There's links for blades. There's links for guard comb attachments too for the different clipper types. So it's all linked there for you guys. Great question, Sean. I'm glad that you asked. Gave me a chance to remind everybody that I probably would have forgot. But yes, I made sure to link all the things I talked about today, guys, and A5 style attachment combs, A5 style blades, A5 style clippers, 5-in-1, blah, 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 blah. It's all linked in there. So Jeffrey Underwood says, and I love the hand wave. That's super cute. Jeffrey Underwood says, I have a number 5 Maltese. I have a 5 hashtag Maltese. My piranha seems to catch, snag on the silky hair with the guard combs. The flash with guard combs doesn't do this. Coat is clean and combed any thought. So you're saying you're having trouble with the piranha, but not, the piranha does use different guard combs. I told you I don't like the way the A5 guard combs fit on the piranha, and those are the ones we're supposed to use. That's one of the reasons why I don't recommend it all the time, because I think you guys would struggle with it if you had to use guard combs. That's the difference right there. And I'm talking to Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey, the difference is that the guard combs on the Flash, they fit on the clipper nicer, and they're just a different type of guard comb. The guard comb on the Piranha is the A5 style, but this blade on the Piranha is different from an A5 blade. So that must be the difference. It has to be. Court Jester says, do you recommend to use the Hornet clipper on an actual Hornet? I would never do that. Perhaps a plane or a car? Just kidding. Anyways, wanted to say you're awesome. Thank you, Court Jester. You're awesome too. No, guys, don't clip Hornets with the Hornet. Don't even go there. You go near a Hornet with a Hornet, and now you're like bringing you're bringing a knife to a gunfight, right? I mean, whew, nobody wants that. No way. Just scrolling real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go soon because I have been talking for a long time. Linda says, in regards to a chow that is matted, which one can we use? Which clipper? Oh, I hate to hear that. If you have a chow that's matted, the last thing I would tell you to do is shave it. So I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm not going to tell you any clipper. Obviously, any clipper is going to do it. An A5 clipper is going to shave it off better, because I explained to you about the power. And you're going to need power to get through a thick, heavy matted coat. But unfortunately, if you weren't in with a groomer regularly, this wouldn't have happened. If you had been, I would say take the chow to a groomer. But if the chow is an adult dog and has never been groomed, I don't know that any groomers are going to groom chow for you, because they're a very powerful dog, and you need to train a dog to work with you. You need to teach them to trust you. And if you throw a matted chow on the grooming table and in the bathtub, and he's never been around this person and this environment, he could become very frustrated. And we all know what can happen when a chow gets frustrated. They can say, I'm not doing this. They are very independent dogs. So unfortunately, if you haven't had him accustomed to grooming with a professional, you're going to have to take care of it at home. And if you can't take care of it properly by watching my videos on how to demat a shedding breed with conditioner, and it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, then you are going to have to shave the dog, and I would never recommend that. I would hate to see that happen. Would hate to see that happen. But It does. And I know that you feel stressed because you're like, but he's matted. But trust me, you can work it out. You really can with conditioner and brushing in the tub. Watch my de-shedding videos, any of them, all of them. I show you how to do it because that undercoat can be released out of those mats. I know. And maybe some areas you may need to trim some of it. It's just too far gone. And if that's the case, you might use an adjustable blade clipper, which is, you know, like your Kenchi Flash or the Kenchi Flash 5, the Hornet, any of those. If you're just talking about removing a mat or two, then I would use an adjustable blade clipper. Any of those will be fine. I wish you luck. I know it's stressful. I know it is. But when you get a double-coated, very heavy double-coated dog like that, guys, you have to be prepared for the work that's ahead of you. And I know nobody prepares us for that. Breeders don't prepare us for it. You know, like, they're wonderful breeds. And you see this puppy and you're like, I want it, I want it. And I love the breed. And nobody explains, you know, the breeder doesn't explain what you have to do to keep that dog from becoming matted and keeping and preserving the coat, which is so important to the Chow Chow. I just wish the breeders... And there are some awesome breeders, just like Sean in the room, SVCC Schnauzers. She gives you everything you need to know about caring for your dog before you take it home. But not all breeders do that. And it's sad. Especially, Sean, I can only imagine if you bred like a heavy double-coated dog like that. If that was what you bred, I can only imagine the thorough information you would give people going home or the questions you would ask before even considering selling a dog to that person. Because you'd be like, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to spend $200 on a grooming session every 8 weeks? Are you willing to do that? No, you're not. You're not getting one of my dogs. I mean, you know, this is part of it. It's tough, but part of having a dog in certain coat types is definitely understanding how to care for the coat and what your capabilities are versus what you would have to look for a professional and get them in right away with the professional at like 2 months old so they get used to the process. But it's tough. Deborah Rose says, hi Amy and everybody, what cordless clipper is best for quick trims, petty area, paw feet and stuff? For just pads of feet, you could use the little guy. You could use the little guy for just pads of feet. But that's it. That's all I would want to do. If you want to kind of do sanitary around the bum, you want to do those things, any of the 5-in-1 clippers, they're all great. They all have their benefits. This little Hornet, not the little guy. This is the Hornet, the regular Joyzy Hornet. He's very versatile. You can get other blades, like a 3, a 4, a 5, a 7. All the 5-in-1 stainless steel guard combs work with this clipper. So, you know, he's versatile and he's a very smooth blade. This is a pretty safe blade. You can cut a dog with a clipper blade, but usually that's going, you know, when you're around loose skin. You have to be real careful around loose skin. But yeah, so any of those 5-in-1s that we talked about today would be just fine. It's just a matter of which one you like best. Summer says, what is your most used clipper? Definitely one of these, my detachable blade. Because that's what I'm trimming bodies, legs, setting length on the top knots. It's my detachable blade clippers. That's what I go to. It gets it done faster, more reliable, smoother, boom, faster. So the A5 is something I would, if I had to say what clipper I would never be without, I would have to give up one clipper to have the other one. I would never give up the A5 detachable blade clipper. I need it too much. Why are scissors so expensive? Everything's expensive that is quality made, Summer. You can buy cheap things and they're not going to work for you, so that's wasting money. So you bought something and didn't get anything for it. You buy a cheap clipper, a $30 clipper on Amazon, and you want to trim your dog, it does nothing. Well, you not only lost 30 bucks, but you still didn't trim your dog. So, or you can spend $160 on a 5-in-1 clipper and actually get something done. You know, so it's just things that are quality, just like cars and everything. Things that are quality made are not expensive. They're just worth the money it took to make them and then to do their job. That goes for everything. Ryan Smith says, hi, Amy. What shampoo and conditioner do you recommend for a Havanese? Is it safe for a weekly? I said I was only taking clipper questions today, didn't I? You can use the Chris Christensen if you want. I can use any shampoo and conditioner that any of the shampoos and conditioners that I recommend in my videos are winners. It doesn't matter that it's a Havanese. Try the iGroom Squalane. It's a little bit of a drop coat that does a great job. It's very heavy on the conditioning side, but it rinses well. But I have a lot of videos discussing shampoo and conditioner, guys, and that's why I make the videos and spend all that time. I need you to watch them, okay? Otherwise, I'm not, what am I doing here, you know? I make them for you guys. I see, I think I'm caught up. I'll just scroll back down. Sean says, SVCC Toys. When grooming a small dog in a teddy bear style, which clipper would you suggest I use? You have schnauzers, but some of your schnauzers have thicker coats. Not real thick, but thicker than others. I personally, when I'm doing a teddy bear trim, Sean, I'm using a guard comb. I'm leaving length, right? I don't do a teddy bear trim with a 7-blade. That's what I call a clip down. And when I set a schnauzer pattern, I use a 7, but I'm setting a pattern. So we're talking a teddy bear trim on a somewhat heavy coat. Yeah, I'm gonna be trimming 2 or 3 of your dogs this coming week. I'm gonna be using an A5 clipper, a detachable blade, the Wall KM10, which I know you have that. That's what I would use, Sean. If I were you, that's what I will use when I do a teddy bear trim. If it's a very light, I tell you, these 5-in-1 clippers really do shine on a poodle coat. They really do. Because that poodle coat is so straight and so stiff that this thing can just get right through there. And like it's easy to make it look nice when it's a coat type like that. Sean, you'll have more of a drop coated dog, and these clippers can do a great job with drop coat, but sometimes with the guard combs, sometimes they struggle to make it look pretty, in my opinion. That's just what I've noticed. I see that Stephanie's gifted a membership. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, Stephanie, who did you gift it to? Stephanie Mecca gifted a Go Groomer membership. Oh, you could receive 1 membership. Oh, who did you gift it to? Doesn't it say? I don't understand that. That's weird. I never saw that in the chat. Anyway, that's cool. If you did that, that's really cool, Stephanie. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to have to let you guys go. You have hung with me and listened to all this jibber jabber, but hopefully you've learned some quality pieces of information, valuable pieces of information about clippers, so you can make the right choices with blades, with guard combs for your clippers. I just want you to understand very much so. Tiger Love says, what's a good clipper for beginners? That's a great question. A good clipper for beginners, I would say, you know, beginners, when I was a beginner, I used only a single speed Andis, and that was a good thing because the blades wouldn't heat up as fast because it didn't have the RPMs as a 2-speed Andis. But I quickly did upgrade to a 2-speed, so I would say as a beginner, I would buy a 2-speed clipper and use it on the low speed at first. So the first speed, because the blade will, you're going to be very slow in your clipper work, and you have to always check to see if your blade is hot because you can burn the skin of your dog. On high, it's going to get hot quicker. So I'd say this Falcon is very nice. And this is cordless and well balanced. This is a great clipper made by Joyzy. That's linked in the description. Your Andis AG 2-speed, but I'm not a fan of Andis clippers because they never lasted me the test of time. My A5 Andis clippers, and I've had many over the years, they died on me for dumb reasons. The motor couldn't handle it. I don't know what it was. So I'm reluctant to ever advise you guys to buy Andis because I have had bad experiences with about 3 different models of Andis clippers. Another good one for beginners, I'd say, would be definitely an A5 clipper style. KM2, which is a not quite as powerful of a clipper. The KM5, it doesn't have the same brushless motor. My suggestion is to buy the Wall KM10, use it on low speed while you're a beginner, and then you have the most powerful clipper in your hand when you're ready for a 2-speed. And I tell you to buy the Wall KM10 or the Wall KM. This is a cordless version of the Wall KM10 because it's proven to me that it lasts longer than any clipper I've ever had and consistently runs. It's a great clipper. So I say the Wall KM10, even for beginners, just use it on the low speed for a while because you're going to be slower at clipping. Those were great questions, guys. I am so happy to bring this topic to you and that you showed up to listen to all my talking. I'm so thankful that you did because there's some important things to understand about clippers, and I'm glad that you took the time to listen to me. And I just want a couple more announcements here. I am going to see you guys live from the grooming table. Next time is going to be in 2 weeks. So you're going to have to set Alexa. You're going to say, where is that? Where is it? That didn't plug in there. I put in what the topic is. That's not it. Huh. Okay, the topic is, I remember it. So we're going to meet in 2 weeks, and for some reason it didn't, okay, it is March 11th at 5:30, so it did, that part of it did show up. March 11th, which is a Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM, we're going to meet again here live from the grooming table, and our topic is going to be, oh, I remember, how to choose. I'm going to help you learn how to choose which guard comb attachments to use depending on what coat type or dog you're clipping. How to determine that. What determines that? There are things that determine it for me. How, you know, if I'm doing a Maltese or if I'm doing a poodle, I have more options with a poodle. I'm going to explain to that. I'm going to explain to you why next time we get together in 2 weeks. There are some dogs that it's very hard to clip with the longer guard comb lengths. Why is that? I'm going to explain that to you and explain to you what to do. So that is our topic next time, and I am going to leave you with a Farmer's Dog commercial. It was the Super Bowl commercial, but you know that I am an ambassador pro for the Farmer's Dog, and I chose to do that because I can offer you and your dog a free 2-week trial of the Farmer's Dog fresh food delivered to your door if you click on the link in the description below. The benefits that you will see from feeding your dog fresh food is immense. So go ahead, see for yourself. Try a free 2-week trial of it. This is what I feed Big Gus. He does not have any problem with the Farmer's Dog, and he doesn't have any problem with me suggesting that you give it a try for your dogs, especially if you have a finicky eater. The Farmer's Dog seems to change that problem right away. Nobody has trouble eating the Farmer's Dog. Everybody loves it. So here's your Farmer's Dog Showdown. Keep being awesome. Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Hounds, I'm going to see you in a couple weeks, about 3 weeks in our Zoom session, 4 weeks because of Easter. That's right. If you're not a channel member, you can become one. You click the link below. But I am all out of breath. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I love ya. Thank you.